Jimmy Durante on KLOS Los Angeles. Good morning to you. It's a Monday morning, the 16th of March, 1998. And welcome. It's time for the Impact program, which is the in-studio guest format where we discuss a wide variety of topics. And tonight I do have an in-studio guest who's been here a number of times before. In fact, in my 10-plus years on the air, he's been in studio more times than any other guest that we've had on the program. He is the founder of the Frontline Foundation. His name is Ray Castellani. And Ray, good morning to you. And how are you?
Good morning, Frank. I have just woken up after 6 hours of sleep, and I'm raring to go.
You really? You had a 6-hour nap?
I did. I went to bed
Did you really?
at 6 o'clock. I'm no fool.
Yeah, this is the fun show for you, as opposed to the Sunday morning show.
Right. Yeah, but I feel really awake tonight. It's have a little energy, and
you want to stay all night till 5?
No. When we're through, we're through. Okay. Now, I won't be able to make it past our little.
We'll keep you here for a little more than an hour.
All right. An hour is good.
It's been a while since we've seen you, and what's the latest with the Frontline Foundation? And talk a little bit about how many meals you've served over how many years it's been in existence.
Well, we should. Sometime we're going to have a talk here with Tammy's going to be on the radio with us. Your wife.
Sounds good.
Right?
Sure.
And we can talk a lot more issues. Frank, Frontline. May I first again? I have, when we first started, I didn't realize what was happening, obviously, and but I want to thank again and again the multitude of people, and you for spearheading a tremendous effort in a humanitarian purpose. Pure. You've got nothing for this, and you're not going to get any awards, unfortunately. But you got an award from me and from the people of Skid Row. But I'm getting email now from the web, from our page, and people are really excited about Frontline. It's in the past several months, and it's a phenomenon. And a large percentage of the people that this is the only time I'm on radio, outside of being in the newspaper and things like that. But I really don't push Frontline. I really put it in the hands of something greater than myself and allow the process to work. And that's what's been done. But I want to thank all the multitude of people, because they write letters. Now yes, and I just got a call the other day from a John Mudd. I don't know his last name, Mudville, and his mother just passed away, and he wants to support Frontline. And he heard us many years ago on the You and I Together, and I get a lot of emails. Ray, I heard you on Frank, blah blah blah, and so on and so on. Anyway, I want to thank all the people. I want to thank the support, because this is what Frontline is about. This is what I'm about. This is what you have propagated, and through you. It's got nothing to do with me. It's through you. So I'm thanking you, thanking your listeners, and I'm thanking the tremendous amount of people that have helped Frontline. Frontline is coming up on 600,000 meals served in an area known as Skid Row, downtown Los Angeles. And that is a true miracle, because it was unsolicited by me. It was dictated to me 1987 to serve food in this area, and I have been obedient to the source, and the result is 600,000 meals coming up. I'm about 4,000 or 5,000 away, but that's negligible. And a development of a core of volunteers of Frontline that have seriously put forth a tremendous effort in the humanitarian area. And that's what Frontline now, or what I'm all about, I think more so than anything else, is the fact is that I have learned so much, and I've learned so much about people. I've learned so much about humanity. I have dug into the soul of humanity and reached and my cup runneth over, so to speak. And this is where this is what I believe. These are the things that I believe through the process of the last 11 years, and or going on 11. We've been together. We'll be 10 years this year.
I know.
Oh my God! And we have, I have young kids. I have old, and it's a phenomenal situation that has happened. But we give the food downtown, which is the vehicle. But the essence of what I believe in is giving, for the purity of giving, and with no strings attached. And I guess that sums it up. Frontline.
One of the things I'm going to ask the listeners tonight is to possibly come down to the dinner we're going to have a week from tomorrow, Tuesday. We changed it. Mm-hmm. We've had a few calls and people want to come, and we've overlooked that next Monday is the big award night.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
So we have rescheduled the dinner for Tuesday the 24th,
mm-hmm.
and hopefully we'll get some people tonight that want to come down and have some great Italian food and meet you and meet me and spend some time with us and know that their time and energy is going toward helping people in much less fortunate positions than us.
Yeah, the dinner, it's a beautiful dinner. And the last one, we had several, 35, or we had a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's in Encino. Well, you'll mention that.
Yeah, well, in fact, I'll give the number out right now. I don't normally do this, but if anyone is interested, feel free to jot down this number and call us. We'd love to hear from you. We have a lot of room as of right now. And the number is in the 818 area code. It's 594-2004. 818-594-2004. And I'll call you back later on today and let you know how you can join Ray and I and so many wonderful people that come to the dinners. It's my understanding, and I think this person wants to remain anonymous, but you talk about the Internet. Tammy was telling me that someone in my genre here in the music industry has found you.
Right. He found me through the Internet, which is, again, and a donation in product of food, of produce, and beans, and not beans, but string beans and carrots and all the, and pasta, and for pasta salads, and to the tune of $5,000. And apples and oranges, which is one of the things that I love so much to put out. $5,000 donation, yes. And it is from your industry, and I don't know him, but
nor do I.
But
obviously everybody would know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
For those that want to get involved more with Frontline, whether it's volunteer or come down to the dinner, or you still have the $3 club.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, I'm sorry, I interrupted.
It's okay.
You. Go ahead. But,
I was just going to ask, what would you suggest people do that want to get more involved or find out more about Frontline?
See, a lot of times people always want to get downtown and serve food. This is well and good, but we can only handle X amount of people. I am not 100%. I'm a lot better than I was 6 months ago, Frank, as you can see. I'm getting younger. I'm taking younger pills. Not really. But the involvement of Frontline doesn't necessarily have to be coming to the kitchen, going downtown, and that's nice. But the unsung heroes are the ones that don't come downtown, that work from the $3 Club aspect. And the $3 Club is I lost about 30 people in the last year, not through, I think that's like a little turnover maybe, and which is fine, and I haven't pushed it or anything like that, but there's been a resurgence as far as the $3 Club. So we're hovering at around a 200 and some odd population in that beautiful club. But it's solid now, and again are reaching out to people, and they're sticking their $3 check, or some of them pay 3 months, and some of them pay 6, and some of them pay a year, as you know, because you got your renewal, Frank. You poor guy, you have to do everything that costs you money with me. But anyway, and it's been a great thing. All of a sudden, I'm looking at it between the $3 Club. That's $3 a month, and they get a little slip of paper, and they can either cancel it this month and pick me up next month, or cancel the whole thing out. You can't lose anything by it, and it's it's a marvelous way to be involved for a small amount of money, and yet it will, if this builds up to a healthier, not a hell, that's the wrong word, to a stronger force. There'll be there's no worries now. I don't have any worries now. It's just me, how my health will hold up, and where the next turn will be with Frontline, because obviously I can't keep running it. And is there someone in the future that's going to take over, so to speak? But then you're asking for a low-paying, because I receive nothing, so I'm just going to pay above that to some other human being. But it has to be a very special person to lead the situation downtown and uptown. But the involvement can be in the kitchen on a Saturdays or during the weeks. During the week, we're closed on Thursday and we're closed on Sunday. But every other day, it's in operation. And I'm waiting for this the next door to open, whatever door that is, or close, whatever door that is. I don't know. But it's the involvement can be in your area, in wherever you live. I'm getting letters from this goes to Upland and places like that. I think this, and so they can be involved in their own area on a humanitarian basis. They can collect. We got a tremendous amount of tuna continually that comes in, because that's one of my staples, and so they can have little drives. 30 cans coming in from Valencia or someplace like that. It's amazing. This little school gets 40 cans, and I have this Sandra and Renee McRae. They come in from their school. That's just an ongoing thing. The Valley Best Shalom, just in Sherman Oaks, just ongoing with one of my other staples are peanut butter and jelly, and they, I mean, hundreds of cans of peanut butter and jelly. These people, these kids that give, they're part of something, and they're part of something very unique. So their involvement is very strong, and they look forward to these food drives. So that's an involvement, and it's a healthy involvement for these kids that are 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, and the seniors. They're all involved. This is an involvement of humanity for helping humanity, and there's no strings on this. There's no strings on any of these institutions, schools, but they love to participate. So Frontline is a unbelievably, well, it's a widened road that has encompassed so many people. It's got nothing to do anymore. It's got something to do with just giving. And they buy that can of tuna, they buy that jar of peanut butter, they buy, thank you. That's so marvelous. And that's what the framework has done. And if it stops, if it's over with, the thousands of people that have helped into this entity, the 600,000 meals that have been served, been part of something. If you're not part of something, you're not part of anything. Then you're nothing. And these people are part of something. And that's, again, where Frontline has come or gone to, or whatever one wants to call it. People that, I don't want to hear anybody knocking Frontline. I don't. Because if you want to knock Frontline, meet me on the street corner, come down to Skid Row with me, and let's knock what we're doing. And that's for all the people that are clicked on to, well, who's that guy talking there? Well, nowadays you got to protect yourself all ways. So I say, come with me to Skid Row, my dear friend, and I'll show you what humanity can do for humanity, purely. And you got any gripes, you got any acrimonious philosophy, you can lay it right on these people on the street, and right in front of me, and right in front of them, so that you don't have to hide behind any facade. And come with me, I invite you. But if helping humanity, if helping people, if they were all kids, I'd have everybody backing me. I mean, as long as you mention the kids, but the kids 10 years ago now are 20. They're on Skid Row. Not a lot, but it's a younger crowd, and pretty tough.
Why Skid Row of all places?
I say this, but Skid Row is just the last stop. It's the bottom. It's the there are no more tomorrows. There are no more streets that are the end of the line. There's no more. The hustle is gone out of most of it, but it's a way of life. It's definitely a way of life, and there's a tremendous energy on the street it's very high leveled energy, and even though it's the bottom of the barrel, but I have I never figure out the reason, but I can't get away from it. And so if you'd ask me, Ray, all I say is I love being there. I've always said this to you. I feel clean being there, even though the streets aren't that clean. I feel clean being there. That's me. That's my feeling towards it. But
and one of the perceptions that listeners walk away with, they say, well, it must make you feel good, Ray. Going down there and helping people.
You see, Frank, the word that I have come to, or the area the doorway the archway that I have passed is the archway to freedom. Now, this is we're going into another area here, but that's okay. The archway to freedom. I have touched that freedom. I have felt the freedom. I have encompassed that freedom. I have embraced that freedom. And freedom has no ties. So when someone says, "Okay, that must make you feel good," if I'm truly a free human being, and I just want people to respect what I'm saying, don't have to go along with it. I'm not putting this out to argue. So I'm tired of arguing, but I'm just telling you how it is with me. And please just respect the fact that this is my story. It's the way that I feel. I support anybody else that feels any other way. But please respect the way I feel. And I am in a state of freedom. So feelings, yes, I can bring them up, but they don't enter into the picture. Because if I feel good about that, then I want to do that, and so on and so forth. What about making money? I don't make any money, but what about, let's say, if you got $100,000 a week job? All of a sudden, I like my job better. If I'm really a free human being, money has nothing to do with it. I don't deal in money, but people are constantly dealing in money. I mean, it's a horrid thing. We need this, we need that, we need this, I need this, I need this, I want. And it's all those binding ties that are so disenchanting to the format of life that I don't have to deal with anymore. I mean, I thank my God for this state of being. All as I want to do is serve humanity. That's what I want to do. So I don't have any of these feelings that come. I don't say, oh boy, I'm going to go downtown and serve the humanity and it's going to make me feel good. That people, yes, will say that. Well, if you don't feel good, you haven't got any self-worth, and on and on and on. All these silly little, I don't even know what they are. And I just want to serve humanity. I want to give another human being whatever it is I've got to give, whether it be my compassion, my love, my understanding, my feelings of worth to another person, a sandwich, a meal, if it's my last dollar or my last $100, whatever it be. But I want to give. That's my mode. And I don't want anything in return. And because of that stature, because of that situation, I don't want to change anybody. That's another thing. I don't want to change anybody. My goodness. Everybody's fine the way they are. I'm not out to chat. I mean, you go to my correctional center and you'll come out a new man. Well, I don't want any new men. They don't want, just love me the way I am. What's wrong with everybody? You go to the psychiatrist and they got to change your way of thinking. I don't want anybody to change their way of thinking. If you want to think decadent thoughts, that's your decadent thoughts. That's cool. It's no big deal. If you want to cheat, that's fine. I mean, everybody wants to jump on bandwagons that knock. Now we can knock this one. Now we're into the president, right? I mean, that's what we're, oh, boy. Oh, and how many people have cheated on their wife? How many people have cheated on their girlfriends? How many people have... Oh, my goodness, Frank, we don't want to even open that can of beans, you know what I mean? Because everybody's lying and cheating and all that. And, you sit there and you tell you, oh, yeah, well. And, I mean, the bars are full of them, folks, and so are the alleys, and so are the cars, and so is I'll meet you tonight at same place, okay, honey? Yeah, okay, I'll see you. It's all over. But, boy, nobody gets on their bandwagon and says, oh, boy, you're cheating on your wife. You don't hear that, hey, baby, and the girl walks by and some guy, hey, look at those legs, man. It's just sicko time, you see. But latch on to the head man, and then we're going to get him, see. And then everybody is all of a sudden very virtuous. Where do we get all these virtuous people? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
And this is all erroneous stuff. I'm not even saying he who without sin cast the first stone. I can't say those words. A bigger man than me said those words. But that's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. It's about everybody wants everybody else to feel bad, you see. And so we're going to jump on him. And all as I want to do in my lifetime, or in the rest of my life that I got, is I just want to be harmonious a little bit instead of acrimonious. Ooh, two good words. Anyway, I get going here, Frank, But I believe, I'm telling you, I'll stand on these principles. I'll stand on these principles because I've got thousands of people that will back me. Thousands of people that are on the streets that will stand by my side and say, I'll stand with this man. You touch him and we'll see what happens here, my friends. Because I believe in these principles. And
obviously on some level it must work, or you wouldn't have so many people... I mean, you're talking about an area in Los Angeles. Some may have been down there, some not. This is not the safest place in our city. But yet, over the last 10-plus years, they've resonated to an energy that, if we can call it in simple terms, love. They've resonated to it.
On my side of the street you're talking about?
Yeah.
With me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, definitely.
They haven't repelled it. They haven't rebelled against it or fought against it. They've been drawn to it.
No, right. And I mean, it is an awesome sight, an awesome feeling, an awesome spectacle to be in this area and to see so much caring for an old guy like me. This is. It's really a phenomenon to be able to be with the multitudes of this sort and to be able to feel the tremendous amount of energy of compassion for me that they have and care for me that they have. And the people, they come up with such beautiful things. Ray, you've been so good to us. When it was pouring raining 3 weeks ago, or whenever it was on that Saturday, when the rain came down, I went downtown with 200 sacks that a man had given me. Beautiful sack, and was down there for 3 hours in the pouring rain, giving out sacks and they were so grateful. They were so, my goodness, they said, oh, Ray, thank you so much. And I made several passes. They'd hover out of me. It was such a deluge. It was unbelievable. But I believed in what I was doing. I didn't do it because I thought it was the right thing to do. I did it because I believed in what I was doing. I believed that maybe I could be a little help, a little service here for mankind, instead of thinking about myself and how much money I got, how much money I owe, what my girlfriend is doing, what my boyfriend is doing,
what the president's doing,
and what the president is doing, on and on and on and on. And I just soaking wet, but it was, and I didn't feel good when I came home. I God, why do you make it so hard for me? You see, and there was no answer. But I would have been much better on a little sunnier day and get down there and get in and done the same thing. But that's not what it was. It was okay. It was okay. But I've done that on several. I won't let if it's really bad driving, I won't let my people go down. But it's of service to humanity, and it's caring, and I got to walk the way I talk. I got to walk the way I talk. I'm tired of listening to talkers, and it's no good. It's no good for me. So,
are we afraid to care? Well, is fear involved in this?
I think, Frank, there's a fear, of course, we've had whole shows on fear. We don't have the time tonight. Boy, the time goes by fast with you and I here. But fear, of course, is a tremendous crippler, obviously. And so many people are afraid to take that step out, because it's going to involve a responsibility that maybe I have to show up and do something the next day, or maybe I'm going to get so involved that it'll ruin my Monday, or ruin my Tuesday, or ruin my date night, or whatever it is. I don't know. So I think it's afraid of a commitment to helping, or to, and there's no end here. Nobody gets a medal. That's the other thing, and that's where the freedom and the purity comes in. Not so much the freedom, because that freedom is a tough one. To be able to do something and not feel anything with it except the purity of thought is a trip. That's a trip, and to keep doing it is a trip. Because usually, most people, there's always an object to it. There's always, there's an object to the noun, or however it is, and there's always
some condition.
Right, some condition, and there are no conditions in the format that I have entered. I say it's taken me a while to get to this area, but it is true. It's true, not for me. It's a universal truth. It has nothing to do with my truth. I don't even know what the truth is. All I know is I am to do one thing, and that one thing is what I talk about, because I don't talk about things I don't know about. It's not important. I mean, I've got enough of that. The world has enough of that. But and everybody, what does everybody want to know? Everybody wants to know the truth, right? That's what everybody seeks.
Supposedly.
Oh, how boring. I mean, can you imagine? Everybody wants to know the truth except on one area, about me. Yeah, I'll tell you the truth about everybody else except me. But the fear is the crippling emotion that will prevent me from doing many. It'll prevent me from marriage. It'll prevent me from having children. It'll prevent me from committing myself to another human being and saying, hey, I love you, hey, I care about you, because I'm afraid of rejection, or whatever those silly words are. I don't know, there's a whole bunch of silly words. I call them the silly list. But, and it's good intellectual talk, I guess, but if you care for somebody, I say, I care for you. If I don't like you, I don't have to say I don't like you, I just don't want to be around you, that's all. And, but fear will keep me from all those areas. And honesty has nothing to do with telling somebody you're a bad person. Excuse me. That's not the kind of honesty that I talk about. The kind of honesty that prevails in my heart, that I care for my fellow being, my human being that is next to me, that I care for equality, that I speak of equality for the human race, for the human beings. I don't care about seeing color or man or woman, or I don't have any of those things going on in my head. I don't think that a woman should get a job because she's a woman, or a man should get a job because I don't even see that. It's kind of silly. All this silly, but they make good arguments. They make good talks, and of course, Frank, you got to have a show. If you don't have a show, you got to have these issues out there. Otherwise, you're going to be talking. Nobody's going to want to hear you. They're going to say, "Well, now, I love you, Frank," and that's as far as you go. You go into a room, and Frank, you and I have sat together many a time, and we say nothing because we have nothing to say, because we have a feeling of understanding with each other, a feeling of love, a feeling of compassion, a feeling of tolerance, and all those things enter into the picture. And when you have all those things entering into the picture, they really don't go anywhere. You say, well, Ray, it's a nice day out today. And that's right. And that's the way it should be, because I don't have any axes to grind, and you don't have any axes to grind with me, so we don't have any axes to grind. But if I'm trying to change you, or you're trying to change me, and we're on different sides of the spectrum, as far as a lot of our
ideologies.
My goodness, I'm almost in the opposite direction with you on a lot of things, but not on the important things. See, compassion and understanding are on both sides of the fence, And when compassion and understanding and tolerance and love are into the ingredient on both sides of two human beings, you may be on opposite sides of the fence, but it doesn't make any difference, you see. Because I cannot have understanding towards you and you have understanding towards me, and if we're on opposite sides of the fence, we'll just understand each other. So it's a dead issue. Did you ever think of that? That's interesting.
Not in that way, no.
But it's true. But it's true.
Absolutely true.
So that's why we're...
Well, part of that is we get hung up on, we want the other person to agree with us.
Yeah, right. That's not important.
It's not. It's not. And I think intrinsically, regardless of our thoughts about things, we all want the same things. We all want the same. We all want to feel safe. We all want to...
Peace of mind. Wouldn't you just like peace of mind all the time? I mean, is that so bad to want peace of mind?
It's funny you say that. I haven't done a lecture in what's going to be I'm going to do one in May. It'll be 8 months. That's my lecture.
Oh, okay.
Peace of mind. I'll talk about it for an hour, and am I going to be any closer? I don't know. But that's a big one. Peace of mind.
That's it.
It's a huge one.
That's all you need. That's all you want. That's all the human being. That's all the people on Skid Row is crying out for, just peace of mind. That's all the world is crying out for, peace of mind. And nobody realizes it's right here. It's right here wrapped up in a few simple words. Understanding, compassion, blah, 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 blah. And that's it. And all of a sudden you got peace of mind. It's not important to change the world because, you see, by my very existence, by pursuing the principles that I believe in, a change takes place. Paradoxically, a change takes place. If I promote love, a change takes place. But I don't know these things up front. I'm not going for this. I'm not saying that we gotta love, brother. I'm getting kind of... Don't make me laugh, Frank. But
is that what I'm doing?
but I mean, it's there's a spirit, there's a feeling, there's an energy that and I love being on those streets because that's the way I can talk. I have that latitude of everybody says the Fifth Amendment. What is it? Freedom of speech? Is that it? Or one of those big ones? Well, we got to have freedom of speech. Oh man, all this baloney. But the freedom of speech. Can you imagine being down on Skid Row and speaking with such power and fulfillment inside of me and talking about love and compassion and these guys, yeah, Ray, man, yeah, and I mean, it's just exciting and they're saying, yeah, man, and I'm saying, don't tell me about black, man, I know about black, and they're all black, and but this is, I don't see it. I don't see your color. I do not see your color, and they go, oh, but that's true, and until, but people don't understand it, and until equality sets in for the humankind, we're going to have discord. We are going to have discord because equality, segregation is the most destructive, horrendous word we could possibly, and that's all we do is segregate. We continually desegregate. We segregate this side, that side, this side. No harmony can infiltrate into that. Because we're segregating all the time. We've got the KLOS listeners. We've got the ABC listeners. We've got I mean it, Frank. It's on and on and on. And until all that is gone, which is not going to be, we're going to have disharmony. And with disharmony, we don't have peace of mind. You see, and that's what's happened to me. That's what's happened to me. And I believe, Frank, I believe this. I believe if I don't shout it out, and if I hold this kind of energy in, then nobody's going to hear what I got to say. And I'm in this spot here tonight because of you. You and I came together 10 years ago on the streets of Skid Row. Why? Because I'm here tonight. Not because not because of 600,000 meals or this and that, or it's got nothing to do with that. It's got something to do because you have a message to give out. I got a little message to give out. Whatever it is. But I don't want to change anybody, but please, I say, respect what I got to say because I respect what another individual says. And that's what peace of mind comes. When I wake up in the morning, there's no changes in my life. When I wake up in the morning, I don't have to change anybody or anything. It just keeps rolling on. And that's a trip. And if you don't believe what I believe, that's cool too.
My in-studio guest is the founder of the Frontline Foundation, Ray Castellani. And we're going to take a break in just a moment and open the phone lines. If you have any questions or comments for Ray, you're welcome to give us a call in just a moment when we do open those lines. Ray, if someone wants to contact you, what would be the best way for them to do that?
I love them to write a note on a postcard at 20 cents or a note. I get so many beautiful letters from these shows. I mean, I have a whole box. It's getting so heavy. I love it. It's just an energy full of love and support. It's unbelievable. But it's Frontline Foundation. You can put it in care of Ray Castellani if it's personal. Frontline Foundation, P.O. Box 570-303, Tarzana 91357. And I'd appreciate just a note. I'll get back to you, but please bear with me that I'm the secretary. But I do my own writing, and anyway, I have this guy David Mock that came to Frontline from. He was a $3 Club member. I just met him. Just a wonderful. I mean, these people out there that they come to Frontline. It's just wonderful. He came with two other buddies of his, and I mean, it's phenomenal what's out there that these people have heard us, Frank. So all you people that want to come over on a Saturday morning. Frontline Foundation is it's at Sepulveda and Oxnard in Van Nuys Boulevard. It's 1 block west of Sepulveda. You go down an alley, take your first left, go down an alley, and look for the Frontline sign.
Also, what about the website? If someone wants to look you up on the website.
Got to get to that website. Yes, love it.
You've been telling me about this website thing for a while.
Please write this. Well, it's an easy website. It's the page, and I love it. I'm getting Noreen to putting more stuff on it because it's so beautiful, it's of course the first one is http://www. And that's normal procedure. But my address is frontline-foundation.org, O-R-G. And I was on there before the NBA, NBA. And it's a simple page, but it tells a lot of stuff on it. We're going to even put more on as we go.
And it's .org because you're a nonprofit foundation.
Yeah. And it has all the information about 501c3 nonprofits, so that with the federal government and all that stuff. So yeah, I have to be a nonprofit. I have to be. I mean, I have to abide by the rules that where I'm performing the work. Mm-hmm. So it's all there, and you'll see me. You see a picture of me. Oh, he looks old. But anyway, yes, Frontline dash. Oh, and that's lowercase. Frontline-foundation.org. O-R-G. Please look me up. Send me. My email address is on there. Send me an email. Say, hey, Ray, this is Bob or Jean or whoever, and I get letters from her, and she just notes, and she just is beautiful. She's a member of the $3 Club. She won't give me her last name, which is great, and she writes these beautiful supportive notes all the time. Ray, you're doing a beautiful job. Keep up. And your friend Glenn Hodges every month. I mean,
he's a wonderful man.
Yeah.
I also want to mention to the listeners again that part of my reason for having you on tonight, I'm clear about it, is I want to solicit people for the dinner.
Oh, yeah.
A week from Tuesday. So, again, if you have any interest in coming to an Italian dinner in the San Fernando Valley, it's a fundraising dinner for the Frontline Foundation. Mm-hmm. It's a week from tomorrow, Tuesday the 24th. It's been changed. We got some calls tonight from people wanting to come Monday, and I called them back and let them know it's been changed.
Yes.
So the number to get more information is in the 818 area code. It's 594-2004. And please feel free to give us a call. We'd love to meet you and sit down and have some wonderful food with you next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. I want to take a break and give out the numbers now to the program. If someone would like to be on the air this morning, if you'd like to talk to Ray, if you have any questions or comments about the Frontline Foundation or anything we've mentioned, we do have a number of lines into the radio station, and the phone lines are open as of right now. toll free to you at 1-800-955-5567 or 1-800-955-KLOS. You'll talk to Tammy Richardson. She's the woman you talk to. She's who answers the phones. And again, phone numbers into the station if you want to give us a call and talk to Ray on the air. If you have something you want to mention or question him about or ask more about Frontline, feel free to give us a call at 1-800-955-KLOS, and we'll be back in just about 60 seconds.
We've sent the KLOS Job Squad to Hacksaw Harry's one-stop chop shop, where mechanic Eddie Stickler listens to KLOS all day as he, modifies automobiles.
And so it's my distinct pleasure to hand to you...
I'm gonna rotate your tires, man. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Anyway, Eddie, $95 is now yours. Hey!
I dropped a quarter.
Well, you have to take the whole back seat out to find it?
You got a problem with that, man?
No, sir.
Rock at work with KLOS, and you could be getting a visit from the KLOS Job Squad. If they catch you listening to KLOS on the job, you'll get $95 in cash. Just drop us a fax or postcard telling when and where you listen. Then look busy and wait for KLOS.
This really isn't my van, you guys.
I know, S.A.
Rock at work with the station that gets the job done. 95.5
Can I get my steering wheel back?
KLOS.
Okay, we are back, and thanks for tuning in Impact. This is the guest format where we have someone come down and talk about life and what they're involved in. And my in-studio guest is the founder of the Frontline Foundation, Ray Castellani. And Ray has been here. I've never sat down to think how many times you've been here, but it's been, you've been coming down for almost 10 years.
Yeah, this is the 10th year. We're in the 10th year. This will be 10 years this year. So we're in the 10th year. That's a long time. It's a lot of time.
Well, you can also say the same thing about going down to Skid Row. Yeah. When you thought it was a one-shot deal.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell the story about when you came back to Los Angeles with this sense that you were to feed people on Skid Row, and the first night. I know you said it was raining.
You mean the Friday night?
Yeah.
Well, it was pouring raining. I was living out of the back of my truck at the time. I wasn't broke. I don't want anybody to misconstrue my thoughts here. I wasn't broke, but I was directed, obviously, and this is the end of the direction after about 6 or 7 months or 8 months, or kind of traveling the countryside, pounding my dashboard. And this was the culmination of the 8 months. And it was a Friday night. It was the 5th of... And it was cold. It was raining. And I woke up in the back of my truck, and I went over to the church, 111 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was pouring raining. And I had picked up 2 buddies. I told them that they had to come with me. They have no choice. You're coming. But I made these sandwiches, lined them all up, and I was all excited. I took all the stuff out of my back of my big white, and waited. And they arrived around 8 o'clock, about 8:30. We went over to Sally's, had a cup of coffee, and then there was a lawyer friend who saw me. He said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Well, we're going down to Skid Row." And so he said, "Can I come?" I said, "Yeah, sure, come on." And so we drove right down, and that morning, the rain stopped for a brief moment. I was sort of saying, I've fulfilled all these conditions, and you got to give me a rainy day. I just couldn't believe it. And I thought it was a one-time deal, maybe twice, but really basically once. Nothing was big. My conditions were this: Ray, no words, but Ray, I want you to serve food in this area of Skid Row. I want you to receive no compensation for this, and I want you to solicit no money. I said, well, for one or two
times
yeah,
you can do that.
No big deal. No big deal at all. And so I went down, and as soon as I hit that street of 5th and San Pedro, there must have been about, 30 or 40 people. Like I said, the rain had stopped, the streets were wet. Well, Frank, in about 30 seconds maybe, there was gone all the food. And it was like, oh my goodness. And I knew at that moment that something had clicked, or something had changed, or something that was happened. Whether, I don't know. To this day, I don't know. But I know something. Well, obviously something happened, because 600,000 more meals were served. But And and that was the first day. I went back. I said, well, I'll go back one more time, and then one more time, and one more time, and then pretty soon the rest is history.
Do you see a future for Frontline?
You know, Frank, I don't see a future. I wish I could say I saw a future, but I don't. When the time comes to close, I will come on the air with you. Obviously, I hope I could be invited back to come on and tell everybody to, never to send me any money from this moment on. Everybody will be contacted via the newsletter, and I will run off the money that I have, and it will be closed. That's how it's dictated to me. If it is to continue, then there's going to have to be some person come forward that has total humanitarian purpose in their heart, total. Because the struggle for me has not been easy. Like I said, I was rendered selling hot dogs on the street corner. You remember that one. And I was so sick physically because I lost my insurance. I lost everything with this. But that's the way it is, too. And so I don't see a future. I only see now. And we'll write it out right now. In the meantime, I'm serving currently right now about 500 meals a week, and also have a great group of youngsters, all missionaries on Wednesdays. Marvelous group, and so we have a tremendous backing for some reason right now. I don't know. I can't quite figure out why the backing is so strong. It seemed to me that it would continue on. Somebody probably is going to step forward. I don't know, but I just don't know, Frank.
Let me give out the numbers again, and then I've got not a heavy question, but a good question, I think.
Not heavy.
Once again, if you have any interest in talking to Ray, we do have open lines at 1-800-955-5567, 1-800-955-5567. I guess I'll pose it this way. We've had many interviews on the air, and you and I have talked about many different things. Many different things. Not just about Frontline, but about life and struggles and movies. And I mean, we've had a lot of time to talk, and the airwaves have been ours in a matter of speaking. What would you like to share with people listening tonight about what it is to need something? And I mean that from the perspective of you're in an area of life where the people on Skid Row, I think you once said that they've got nothing. They've got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously need. We all need to be loved, but I mean. What is it like to be in a situation where we all have an opportunity to help? Such as now, we've got thousands of people listening and a few calls maybe and talking about a dinner and just putting a few sandwiches together and just helping people. But what do you need, number one? What do you need from people listening right now? I know you don't like to talk about that, but what does Frontline need?
That's a good question, Frank. You throw me these curveballs every once in a while.
Once in a while.
But I think probably if I was to say I there's something that I needed. I need the support. It's kind of hackneyed, but boy, that's a tough question, Frank, because it's a tough question. I don't know if I can articulate an answer to you on that. I mean, it's a tough question because I want to say I need the touch of every human being out there right now. The touch. It's kind of probably abstract, but I need the touch. I need I need the feeling of every human being out there. I need the courage of every human being out there. I need the wisdom of every human being out there. And it can be transmitted via thought. And I guess that's probably, that's probably what I would say I would need. I mean, that's, you ask a heavy question, I'm going to give you a heavy answer.
One of the other things you've said indirectly in past programs is you aren't necessarily interested in people helping or giving, or, I mean, that would be okay with you, but one of the things that really struck me from early interviews that you used to share, if you just think for a moment about someone else.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's more than maybe we even can comprehend.
Oh, yes. The world would change. I've said that.
What do you mean by that?
Okay. If this moment, right now, Frank, you and I talked about this moment, if everybody in the world, everybody, thought about another human, the world would be utopia. Think about it. The guy that's just going to beat somebody, all of a sudden would think about that individual and say, no, I'm not. I think about you. I care about you. So the world would change. The whole world would change. The whole world would change. There would be no anger. There'd be no frustration. There'd be nothing. So that's how powerful that saying is. It runs deep. Yes, Frank?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that could change the destiny of the world. Not tomorrow. Now. But it will never happen. But it can change. I mean, I know that. That's truth. It's impossible if I think about the welfare of somebody else and how I may help them. It's impossible for us not to live in a utopian world. That's powerful. And that's one sentence. The welfare of others and how I may help meet their needs.
We're going to talk to Shelley in a moment, but before we do, just to pick up on that, part of the problem is, and we're circling back and coming full circle in a matter of speaking, part of the problem with that is we think about ourselves.
Oh, well, that's it. We know that, Frank. I mean, we don't even have to go in there. That's a for sure. You just take that to the bank. You know, that's the great involvement of self, and that's the great bondage of self, and that's the great tragedy of our societies and of the world, and it's the involvement of self. But that's a bank. That's an easy one. You know, that's a boring one. Yeah. But, you know, freedom of self. See, I opened up your heart. We started talking about the freedom of self. That's where I am. I didn't think about how I was going to feel. See, that's the part that people don't understand. When you're free of self, you don't have those feelings. If I had those feelings, I'd be lying. I'd be talking out of the left side of my mouth instead of the right, or et cetera, you know, because then you would say, no, Ray, it's kind of tricky. Well, Ray, do you feel good? No, I don't feel good about feeling. Well, then how can you be free? See, they tricked me. They'll be out there waiting to trick them. Oh, I'm going to trick him. I don't want to be tricked. I'm telling you how I feel. But that's what you're talking about, the involvement of self. I was involved with self. My God, Frank, don't you think I know what it's about? There was only one person I thought about, me and me and me and me. I sang this song, do, re, me, 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 me. And if I had this, and if I had that, and if I could have this, and if I loved somebody, and if somebody loved me, and if this, if I had money, if I had this, if I had a car, if I had a good job, on and on and on and on. And I'll do it. If I have $1 million, I can help you, Ray. I mean, it's an involvement of self. The bondage, the shackles of self is Frank, it's too heavy for me. It's too heavy for me. The shackles of the bondage of self. Oh, my goodness. And people say they're free. Just wait till they start losing their job. Oh, my goodness, Frank, you'll see everybody shake. And if they don't like Mark and Brian will shake in their boots because they'll losing their job. And they lose it. You're only here for a short time, you know. And that's the way it goes. And pretty soon you fade out. You know, you just sort of fade out. You say, well, whatever happened to Mark and Brian? I don't know. They just faded out. But it all goes. It all goes. I mean, Walter Winchell was... Do you remember Walter Winchell?
Sure.
Walter Winchell was one of the most powerful radio personalities the world has ever known. I'll bet you your listeners, 90% of them, don't even know who Walter Winchell was.
I'm sure that's true.
Luella Parsons. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but they had their moment, didn't they? And someday we're gonna miss the ones that are here today. You see, And then that bondage of self. So I want to be free enough of self that I don't have to worry about those things, you see. And that's the region I passed into, the shackles, talk about prisoners, talk about prison. Why don't they have a camp where freedom of self exists? No, they won't have that. That's too logical. Because we got to think about the prisoners, we got to think about the this organization, that everything is all tied into self. And I don't even know the jargon, but I can't even begin to talk. But that's all involvement of self. This movement and that movement and this movement. What about the movement of freedom of self? Does anybody get up there and talk about that? Let's be free of self. And when you're free of self, you can think about somebody else and their welfare. Oh, can't do that. How about that, Frank?
How about it?
They're going to shoot me tonight, man. They're going to be waiting out the doors here. My dog's in the car.
You got a big dog. Many big dogs. Shelley, you're on the air on KLOS Los Angeles with Ray Castellani. How are you, Shelley?
I'm okay. I'm really, this is very uplifting to be hearing Ray and about this program. And so hi.
Hi, Shelley.
Hello, how are you?
Are we on a roll here or what?
I think so. I think so. I felt kind of on the spot when I called, and I was grilled about, specifically what I'm calling about. And I was like, well, hell, I don't know. I want to... Anyway, so, gosh. You know what? What you're saying, everything you have said resonates with how I've been living the last couple years.
Beautiful.
Feeling. And I find that, that whole involvement with self is going nowhere.
Right.
And the only thing that's kept me going, one foot in front of the other, is things that amount to service of our fellow humans. That's the only thing that motivates me at this point, because I've kind of lost faith in fulfilling those needs of myself, the so-called needs of myself. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I guess I have found a sort of freedom in that. And anyway, I'm very, very supportive of what you're doing and saying. And I'm kind of on strike. I've had my own business for a number of years, and recently I just decided I'm not doing this any longer. And I've sort of been on strike, and I'm into spending my retirement now, even though I'm not officially of that age, until I figure out what the hell I want to do. And money, doesn't motivate me, because, like you say, that doesn't solve anything on a personal level.
Right.
But what I want to say to you, Ray, is God willing. You mentioned about your health. I don't know the details. And I don't know what the state of mine is, but, I got a little bit of money and I got a little bit of energy, and I don't know, I don't want to make any promises that I can't keep. I'm into reality. And, but if I were up to it, I'd be real happy doing what you've been doing, even if it's for, 6 months instead of 10 years or whatever. I don't know.
That's beautiful, Shelley.
That's, I guess, what I have to say.
That's beautiful. That's the thought, Shelley. Again, you got to remember what I said. The thought is so powerful. Mm-hmm. And instead of thinking about yourself, you're thinking about other things. That's what we're talking about. And that's the freedom of self. So and that's all I do. It's just, thinking of the welfare of others. That doesn't mean I'm doing something about it right this minute. Every single minute. I mean, it's impossible to do it that way. But
it gets on you.
Well, yeah, it's just impossible. I mean, it's the song, "It's Impossible," but it is. But the thought of it is the power of the step that is taken, because the power of thought of other people.
Right.
And that's the out of self, out of the shell, out of the eggshell, so to speak. The eggshell of self.
Exactly.
Wrapped with that bondage, the net. I mean, it's just constant. And,
it is. It is.
Right.
And
well, so that's it.
I do know. And I got to share, I'm glad to say I had the opportunity to help out very dear friend of mine, is a jewel. Is a jewel that is not. I think the world doesn't. The world doesn't always recognize its jewels, right? Wow. And anyways, I'm happy that I was given the opportunity and the ability to help her towards her own freedom by buying her a vehicle, and and she mirrored, her joy.
Shelley, I want to give Mark, he's standing on hold here, I want to give him an opportunity.
Okay,
so
sure.
If you have a closing comment, briefly, you can finish up, but we want to move on here.
Okay, Frank. You know what? I'm just saying, right on, and I will get in touch with you, and I'll do what I can, okay? How's that? I'll do what I can, and right on, man. Love you, and
thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, Shelley. We appreciate the call. Mark, you're on the air on the Impact program with Ray Castellani.
Hey, Ray. Frank, how you guys doing?
Hi, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
All right. I tell you, Frank, I caught this show one night. I couldn't sleep, and I've been listening to it every week. It's great.
Well, thank you.
At first, I thought you were kind of arrogant, but so that son of a gun. Anyway. I was talking to Tammy a little bit, and it's probably a wild metaphor, but it's like if you want to take your two boys to a baseball game, and the prices are sky high and this and that, so you say to yourself, well, let's just boycott the damn first game, Nobody goes, and the prices will come way down. Well, there's always that guy that says, well, you know what, everybody's going to boycott, so I'm going to go out there and get the front row seats. Being the selfish part is kind of a wild metaphor, but it's I don't know. The solutions always seem so simple. Work together, selfless instead of selfish, but why is it so damn hard to do? I don't understand it, Seems weird. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, the question again.
I know I threw a whole bunch there in a short period of time.
It's fortunately, I say fortunately for me, I've just sort of kept on one line. 25 years ago, maybe it was more, maybe close to 27 or 28 years ago, I tried to think, I did this as an exercise. I tried to sit in a chair and think about the welfare of somebody else.
Wow.
Do you know how long it took me before do you know how long I could think about somebody else? Let me put it that way. 10 seconds.
Wow.
10 seconds. As the years have progressed, fortunately for me, it's the other way around. Once in a while, I'm going to say this loud and clear. Once in a while, I do get involved with self. I am a human being.
Yeah.
I don't walk on water. But the process has reversed itself. And I've done it by only, on a continual basis over a period of years, by just that little format. I've just begun many years ago, because I knew that could change the destiny of the world, what Frank and I had talked about.
What do you, when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
I don't see anything.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
See, I don't see anything.
Yeah, you sound very warm, very caring. It's gosh, it's I'm a selfish SOB myself. Right now I'm
You make me laugh.
Well, I'm going through some things just like everybody, and we all are. But fortunately, I got some great parents. They're elderly. I'm putting them through HE double hockey sticks. But I caught this after start. I remember Frank mentioning it last week, and I was, gosh darn, I missed it. But if you guys could talk a little more about this dinner and shed a little bit on that, or I can wait till later. But also, I think people. That last girl, I couldn't quite understand what she was talking about. She kind of wanted to go somewhere and kind of didn't get there. But people want to help. But I think, it's the doers that get something done. I do a lot of talking and I don't get nothing done. But I think if people show up, give them an address or something, and maybe some.
For the dinner you're talking about?
Well, yeah, I kind of bounced around. The dinner, Frank, as well, is how to help the cause,
Well, two things. We'll give you a mailing address for Frontline.
All right.
If you want to drop Ray a line.
Right.
It's Post Office Box 570-303.
Okay.
And the city is Tarzana. The zip code is 91357. And if you're interested in finding out more about the dinner, which will be happening a week from Tuesday, a week from tomorrow, you can call the following number, and it has all the information you need.
Okay, great.
Which is in the 818 area code. It's 594-2004.
2004.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Gosh, like I said, it just seems, people want to help out, and everybody's got a heart, regardless of how they come across. And people do want to help. Some don't know how. I don't know. I'm not saying nothing. Maybe I'll show up there, maybe I won't, But anyway, God bless you both, and
thank you.
You got a good thing going there.
Thank you.
Definitely, you've been blessed.
Thank you very much.
And bless many other people as well.
Thank you, Mark.
Hey, thank you guys.
Appreciate the call. We're going to take another call or two and finish up. I've got another good question for you, though. You had mentioned you like to say boring sometimes, right? If whatever in the blank is boring, what's exciting? What's exciting to you, Ray?
What is truly exciting to me is, boy, you got some tough questions, Frank.
Well,
I think, again, the excitement of watching people, like when I'm on the streets or when I'm at Frontline or when I'm wherever, watching people give to one another, I think is exciting to me.
What a wonderful answer.
And think about it. It is a trip when somebody gives their lunch to somebody else downtown, and I just watch it. I say, my goodness, what a true miracle is here. So I think, that is a trip. That is exciting to me, watching other people give to one another, care to one another, love to one another. The success of other people is very exciting to me. When someone has a success, wow, I'm so happy for them. I'm excited for them. So I think that's what I would. It's maybe hard for people to understand that, but that's I never have been able to formulate that. Nobody ever asked me that question, but that's what it would be.
Thank you. Drew, you're on the Impact program with Ray Castellani. Hi, Drew.
Hello there.
Hi, Drew.
Hi, Ray. I'm just new to this idea of Frontline. I hadn't heard it before. What would be the best way for us to help you, whether it's physically being there or money, or what do you need most?
Drew, if you could, tomorrow, tomorrow, drop a line to me, and I'll send you information.
Okay.
And it'll be right there for you. I'll send you the little pamphlets on the $3 club if you want to help just with $3. And that's, like I said, not every month. It can be once every 6 months. But it's a very simple format. But the more people that I get involved in that area, the more Frontline is going to sustain itself on its own without any outside help. And that's what's exciting there. And we have about over 200 members in that little... it doesn't sound like much, but it's something. And I'll send you some literature, send you some newspaper article. All the stuff that I will send you is all been documented by the LA Times and things like that. So it's nothing that is, my philosophy, or something like that. So Drew, I'll mail you that personally, and you just say, Ray, in your note, say, please send me the info. I'm Drew, and I spoke to you last night, and I'd like to get somehow involved. And the rest will be up to you, Drew. This is what I believe. I'll just put it out in the water, and whatever you want to pick up. The volunteer times are there. If you just want to come in the kitchen on once a week, however you want to work. If you want to work out of your house, if you want to clean tuna fish, if you want to, whatever you want to do. Drew, 600,000 meals have been served by this method. And if I was smart enough, which I'm not, I could have dictated this. But I trust your phone call.
Okay.
And I trust you. So that's that. You're not calling because you want to know what time it is.
No.
So that's what I'm talking about. So
okay,
you just drop me.
And I'll give that address again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll give it to you. Frontline Foundation.
Right.
P.O. Box 570303. 570303. Tarzana, Tarzana, California, 91357. And also, if you're in the area, we got Frank's dinner, which is coming up the 23rd. That's another way you can be involved. That's every other month. That's $20. All you can eat, beautiful Italian at Maria's in Encino, California. And that's another way. But I'll send you a brochure. I'll send you the little flyer on that. You got a flyer, right, Frank?
Yeah,
you got your own flyer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'll do that for you. There's many ways that you get. Where do you live?
I live in Inglewood.
Oh, well, you're not far. You're up to 405.
Right.
Yeah, you're about, on a Saturday, you'd be there, and I've got people coming from Torrance on Saturday morning. So, if you'd like to drive up there on a Saturday morning, drive up on this Saturday. I'll give you the directions. It's very simple. And
Okay.
Actually, for you, it's just one shot. Just the 405 and get off at Burbank. So,
is that in the information, too?
I'll put it, yeah, I'll write it right there.
Okay.
I'll put it right down for you. So, Drew, I love you.
Okay, I love you, too.
Thank you.
Wish you the best, and I'll get this note off to you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, Drew.
All righty. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What are we talking about, Frank? I mean, this is an organization. I still can't get over it, but it's just amazing. Oh, Frank, we don't have time. Next time.
Yeah, we do.
Well, I devised, or it came to me, or however you want to do it. I have an exciting new thing I'm going to start to do. We always come out. The L.A. Cabaret, the dinners, the Italian dinner. Well, now I have sponsors, or I'm getting sponsors. People, companies that are going to put up $1,000. And on that $1,000, I'm going to have a raffle. Now, it's tax deductible for the sponsors, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to put the $1,000 up. The tickets are going to be $1 a piece, and we're going to, as soon as I get to the $1,000, we're going to cut off the sponsorship because we don't want any more than just that. And then we're going to send out to the mailers, our mailing list, and all over. I'm going to have several little teams that are going to have, maybe they'll sell their tickets to all their little places, and we'll have for 90 days a raffle, and the winner will win $1,000.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
I love it. I love it.
And Frontline, the people on the streets will benefit, and it won't cost Frontline a cent. The $1,000 is put up by the sponsors. It'll get their names and on their thing about sponsorship, and so anyway, I thought of that. I mean, it came to me. Whether it works or not is really irrelevant. It may not work, but I wrote it up today, and I'll have it in writing, and that'll go all out. And again, on the back side, the tickets will be on the front side, and it'll go out to the mailing, and what Frontline's all about will be on the back side.
Ray, one of the most humbling things for me, and I've been close with you for a long time, and have watched and witnessed and seen the evolvement of Frontline, and one of the things that just stops me in my tracks is what you just shared, the story of how this came to you. How many, over the last 10 plus years, how many moments such as what you just shared, have occurred? Just, I guess what I'm trying to say is the evolvement of Frontline it's mind-boggling to me to see that what I saw almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And now, and what's transpired over that period of time, and we get kind of desensitized to things. One of the things that you shared on another program, I saw for the first time a couple of weeks ago. I was in Las Vegas with a friend of mine, and we were in the Hilton. Never been to the Hilton before.
Yeah, I know that. And I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I know you do. and I happened to walk up, and there it was,
yeah,
Elvis
Presley.
That's right. And it's
25 times
at the Rose Bowl.
Right.
Yeah, and I thought, my God, you've talked about the Rose Bowl, and
right.
How many people is 600,000 meals or 590 whatever, and yeah. I just stood there with my mouth hanging open. It's like it hit me again, like a new understanding of what this has been all about.
Right. That's the Rose Bowl 6 times for Frontline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me to just do something like be a member of the $3 club, as it were. Is powerful.
It's powerful.
That's it.
You know, it's
That's
powerful. And remember that when you said about the incidents that happened, there is nothing that, and I say this, nothing that came from my head. It was all. Now you do understand. I've read some things wrong.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want.
Of course.
But it was all by inspiration. It was all by yes, I'll try this or I'll try that, because there's nobody helping me out there except what we're doing right now. I mean, if I was talking about children, I would have all the agencies in the world. If I was talking about the battered women or whatever, it doesn't make any difference. I would have a lot of help. But because I'm talking about people that nobody really cares about, hard, except at Christmas time and at Thanksgiving time. And then you see in the newspapers all these people, the mission's wanting $120,000 by the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 6 weeks to feed all these people. And that's just an erroneous information going out all the time. And that's okay. It's no big deal. Not to me. The people want to send the money to any place they want to send it to is fine. But it's an erroneous statement. And first of all the pictures you see are white people, and that's erroneous right off the bat. So everything here is about as pure as you can get it. And I do also want to say, Frank, that I wasn't. I made a direct change 12 or 13 years ago, or. I think 12 or 13 years ago. I mean, I don't want any of your listeners or anybody that's listening to me for the first time to think that I was walking this line of white robe and slipper shoes, because that's not true. I was involved as self like anybody else, or like a lot of people. I shouldn't say that. That's a wrong statement. But I was involved with self. I was certainly dishonest to the nth degree. I was impure as far as my thought processes go. I was selfish beyond comprehension. I had mentioned that prior. And the love, how could I have love with those first preceding those love with being dishonest, impure, and selfish? How can I have love in my heart? I can't. So all these things were factors in my life, Frank, and they were factors for a long time. And it all had to be cleaned up some 13 years ago. I know why now, but I also can talk both sides of the fence unequivocally. And I have to be able to read the soul of another human in a split second on Skid Row, because if I read it wrong, it might cost me my life.
Once again, if you would like to contact Ray at the Frontline Foundation, the mailing address is Post Office Box 570-303, Tarzana 91357. P.O. Box 570-303, Tarzana 91357. Also, Tuesday the 24th, the night after Oscar night, which is a week from tomorrow, we'll be doing a small fundraising dinner event for the Frontline Foundation in the San Fernando Valley. If you have any interest at all in joining us, we'd be pleased to hear from you at 818-594-2004. And I'll call you back later today and let you know how you can join us. You know, it almost, to me, when I say this, it doesn't even come close. But when I say thank you for coming down to the program and for spending time with us, you know, earlier today I was talking to my wife, and we both kind of said, "Hey, Ray's on tonight. Let's go." I mean, it's just always a rare treat for me, and I appreciate that. And also, Ray, you know, you talk a lot about how it's not you and you haven't done all that much. But one thing I do know, that this endeavor of the Frontline Foundation has involved you with an enormous amount of effort and energy that has been yours.
Yeah, that's true.
And I just am so inspired by you, and I love you a lot, and just thank you for being on this planet. I mean, just thanks for being there. It just really helps sometimes to think about, you know, how tough life can be, and to know that I've got a friend like you.
Well, and likewise, Frank, you humble me for sure.
And thanks for honoring that sense more than a decade ago about Frontline. Frontline is a powerful vehicle and has touched me, and I'll speak for myself in so many ways that, like I was telling you, here I am in Vegas, and there I am, boom, I got it. Gee, I'm a little slow, but I got it.
Right.
So thanks.
They use that same equation.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
with in front of Elvis.
Hmm. What would you like to say in closing?
Just that I feel, I have to say to you too, and to your listeners, and to everyone, that I just feel warm, and my quest tonight, I hope that nobody is offended by what I said, and hopefully that we're in a better slot even for a brief moment. And again, Frank, I say to you loud and clear, thank you for the 10 years that you've devoted, unknowns to you probably a lot, but you've helped thousands and thousands upon thousands of people through your, not only through your fundraisers, but through you, because I'm the recipient of so much that you've done. Unfortunately, you should be getting the accolades, and I'm getting them. But
I don't know about that.
So I just thank everybody, and everybody have a deep breath of fresh air, and just that's all. It's just a thank you in my part, and I'll just keep doing what I can do, and just have those good thoughts, and that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
So thank you. And I love you very, 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 very much. And your wife very, very, very much. We'll have her on next time with us.
If she's willing. We'll have to ask her. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
We'll end, in a sense, with this and continue on till 5 a.m. this morning. This is KLOS.